What's up guys, Kill here, welcome back to another game on the Gwenology account. This time we are up against Gragas. Runes should be on screen now, and this lane is very annoying. Gragas is one of those lanes that is just obnoxious. He is a very nullifying champion. He has infinite sustain on his passive, a very strong damage reduction on his W that is also an auto attack enhancer, and a disengage tool in his E and R. Speaking of annoying, lane already starts with us getting poked down a bit, but the second wind Doron shield already getting value. Because his Q's down, I'm able to walk up and auto attack this for free, so now I have 4 Q stacks to Gragas's Q. And we're able to just kind of deny him from last hits. Not from his projectile Q, but he's not allowed to auto attack any of these. And if he does, we're just going to press Q on him and win the trade. And that's what happens right here. And then for some reason, he's still trying to auto the waves when he really needs to walk back. And look at that. He wanted to auto attack the wave for a grasp proc so he could auto us back and then press Q. But he traded 3 auto attacks in a 4-stack Q on Gwen to his grasp auto Q. That's just not worth it. And then at this point, I'm just trying to push this wave in before Graves could potentially get up here off of the 3 camp, but thankfully my karma wards for me, so I see that Raptors are still up, so there's no way Graves can be here right now. I get my level 3. Go for a small trade here because his E's down. I used my W there because I'm not really sure when the E comes back up, so I just wanted to get damage reduction, and then I see Graves finally take Raptors. I know that he can't be here whatsoever. I press Ghost, look for the tower dive, get an auto. He barely lives, and then I auto again. And because I had second wind D shield active in that fight, and I used my potion preemptively, I was able to just barely survive that tower shot. And then we are in an amazing position this game. I still end up going for just a Cull and Boots here because I'm not trying to win this lane, per se. I'm just trying to get as much income as I can. And that's not going to happen from solo kills because it takes so many resources to stick onto Gragas and actually deal enough damage due to his passive, W, and disengage tools. So I'm willing to just go for a Cull, buy Nashers, scale up. I end up muting the Shaco there because he got upset about like Karma not rotating in time. And then he buys a Cull and I'm just like, okay, we're not trying to deal with this. You know, he could type some crazy stuff. And, you know, I would have to blur that out for the YouTube video, and I don't really want to do that, because that's more editing for me, and I'm not all that good at editing. That's why I like these videos as well. It's not too complex for me to have to send into an editor. I can just do these myself when you guys enjoy them, and you guys have really been enjoying this, I guess, series. Yeah, series. It's a series. So I really appreciate it. I'll make these as long as you guys keep watching them. And I hope you guys learn from my mistakes and from my good plays, which to this day, or until today, I have never solo killed a Gragas pre-6, and it was just crazy at the time. Like, I was shocked while playing this game that we found a solo kill on this champion. But right now, we're just trying to push the wave into tower. We're doing exactly what he did to us. He walked up with a big stacked wave, so he has to concede the freeze. And at this point, we're going to proxy and look for a reset here. We have enough for a blasting wand after we get all of these minions. It's a very powerful spike. But then I notice bot side. Graves is there. He ends up dying. And then I pan my camera to Gragas and I notice how low mana he is. The next wave is a cannon wave. That means Gragas cannot one combo the entire wave. He has to use the tower. So that tells me I have enough time to clear this wave. Graves is currently on the way as we speak, so I need to clear this super fast. I should have done 2 auto attacks on each of the casters and then Q to guarantee my level 6 right as the wave was dying, but it was not ideal, so we get punished here. Graves is about to kill me, but because I turn auto Q, he gets scared because he thinks I have way more mana than I actually do, and we actually just scare him off of the kill. I zoom in there because he 100% has the kill on us there. always, 10 out of 10 times. But because he was scared of me turning back and standing my ground, he just conceded. So at this point, we have a very generous lead. Gragas is still trying to clear this wave because he has no mana. I do a nice little poke there, but it doesn't really matter because he's trying to reset. Until he tries to recall right there. That is a ego recall. And then again, he's not under his tower fully, so I cancel it again. So at this point, he has no mana. He has to reset. Graves is trying to stop my jungler on Void Grubs, but because Gragas is playing the way he is, Graves has to concede the next 2 Void Grubs because there's nothing he can do by himself. If he goes back to those Void Grubs, I walk down. If Gragas comes back, the wave is already dying to those minions, right? So he doesn't get anything by showing up to top lane. This is just a lose-lose situation for the enemy team because we were able to get that proxy off. Right, and then at this point, we get level 7 here. Gragas is level 6. Go for a small little trade there, but even though we're ahead and he bought HP and mana, he trades even with us. My jungler's getting here, and I use Ghost W. Unfortunately, Gragas was just barely in there with me, and then he gets the double body slam off, so he is going to live, and then my jungler, he goes for a kill, which is very unfortunate. I'm going to try to throw needles here, and his body slam comes off CD. So just very sad all around. Now, at this point, he has very low HP. He is never in lethal range here, right? We can never kill him due to his W and his passive. But he can't walk up and last hit, because we exist. If he goes for the last hits, that's when we get the kill. So when he goes to auto here, 4-stack Q, E auto. Now he's low enough for lethal. Then he presses W, now he's out of lethal. You guys see how annoying this is? It's like, you can get very easily baited by this character. The kills look so plentiful against this guy because he's playing very bad, right? This guy's playing awful. But because he's on Gragas, it is absolutely criminal to try to go for solo kills on this guy. Again, just another QE. And then I think to proxy here. And then I'm like, no, my HP and mana is a little low. I don't know where Graves is at the moment. So I look for fruits. There are no fruits, unfortunately. I end up resetting here. And then Gragas also resets here. And this is another misplay on the Gragas. Why? Because the wave is closer to his side. When you have 6 minions versus 6 minions, the side that it's closest to is going to push away from it. I hope you guys can understand that. So if there's 6 minions on each side, and they're fighting on the right-hand side of the lane, they're all going to go to the left-hand side. Because look, the first wave to show up is the red side. This lets them get free auto attacks, like the caster minions get free auto attacks, and they kill the enemy minions faster before the next wave shows up. It took me years to learn how minion management works, so if you guys don't understand it, there's a lot of guides out there. Heck, I might even make one eventually if you guys want to see that. But it's very easy to understand. I was just very, very stupid trying to learn this from being a jungle player for 6 years. Gragas goes for the all-in here. I use my full combo. I use my W preemptively here because I'm trying to make sure Gragas does not ult me away again. And it works out. He body slams into my W, and then he walks out of it and presses R. So we are immune to the ult, but we got hit by the E, which is totally awesome. Just finding another kill there. And my jungler, being the beautiful gentleman he is, steals some plate money. At this point, I'm not too upset about it. We have a nice lead. And then I would love to proxy this wave, but it's just a little too greedy, right? Gragas is off of a full buy. He has full health and mana. I just don't want to risk dying to him and giving him a 200 gold bounty or shutdown. So we're going to concede a little bit of this next wave coming up. And then at this point, I'm drinking orange juice, so I'm holding the F keys just so you guys have something on screen to watch. But Gragas does end up running Demolish this game, so he gets a free plate. Places a ward for no reason at all. This ward literally does nothing, so I get 5 gold here. And then at this point, I believe the Void Grubs are respawning, so I'm just hard shoving this. Oh, they actually did respawn already. So I hard shove this so that Gragas can't rotate, and then I see Graves on the ward I placed earlier, so I'm just going to stand here while my jungler takes the Void Grubs. And then we're just going to scare the Graves away. I'm going to go help my jungler on the Grubs now, and there's a little bit of a miscommunication here. He jumps over looking for the kill. I dodge the Gragas E. And then at this point, his E's on CD still due to the fact that he missed. And our 4-stack Q is enough. I end up ghosting here because I think I need to, but Shaco does enough damage. So a little bit of a misplay on my part there. I wasted my ghost. But we're just going to get this next plate here. Jinx Rocket from downtown. Yeah, we're just going to shove this in. Meanwhile, our jungler is getting more Void Grubs for us. So now we have 5, so I'm willing to stay here and get the next one. And Lux comes here for no reason at all. Like, the Void Grubs are ours. There's no reason for Lux to rotate for this. And then at this point, she cosplays Gragas and just B's very annoying to me. She cancels my recall twice, just like I did to him, so, you know, karma's a B. One good thing about post commentary is I can censor myself, so, you know, the algorithm doesn't ruin me. We end up TPing here. We were just a few gold off of the Haunting guys, which I would have loved for this fight, but the fight was happening there and now, so we had to go. And then at this point, I'm thinking, maybe I can turn this, and then I see Gragas from the top left of my screen, so I gotta get out of there. Lux is gonna flash Q me, Gragas is gonna flash Q ult me. And that is going to be our first death of the game. I believe that it was a 500 gold shutdown to the Gragas, so he is back in the game after we played so well. We still have a lead, but now Gragas can play the game. I ended up opting into Swifties here because I don't think that damage is really an issue. It's the crowd control. And we can use our W for the hard CC, right? But the thing is Gragas R and E are knockups. So if we can just use the Swiftness boots to negate the Lux E and the Gragas slow, I feel like that's plenty enough, as well as the Jinx W. But look at that. We die once, we have 6 Void Grubs, and he's matching us in tower damage. How does that make sense? I guess it's that extra grasp HP, you know? Makes the demolish damage higher. It's okay. We're just gonna clear Cannon Wave here. We're 9 stacks away on the coal as well. Small little trade here. We use our W to make sure we don't fall under the tower. Land 9 needles on him. Very rare occasion. I was very proud, like, watching this back of how well I played mechanically. There were a few plays that you guys will see later in the game where I was kind of on fire. I don't think they were game-changing, but I was just... I had a little smirk on my face when I was rewatching this game. Alright, and here, we're waiting for the waves to crash in top lane, so what are we gonna do? Take resources. We gotta get ourselves further ahead, because we really don't want to trust the Shaco, whose name I can't read on YouTube. So I'm gonna pull the wave towards the top side of the, away from the tower. Unfortunately, Gragas is just going to face tank and then use his passive to heal back to full. Funny Gragas champ. You've been watching it back. And winning the lane. Still super annoying champion. He's just building Roa and he's just coin flipping that his team gets a lead. And my team almost surrenders here. I wonder who started that surrender vote. Definitely not the jungler with a cull. Alright, but here we're going to reset. This lets us get our haunting guy. Oh, no, sorry. I don't know what's happening. This should have been a reset. Yep, I wasted about 10 seconds for nothing. We should have just reset here, and we would have been able to catch the top wave a lot sooner. We go ahead and get a haunting guys here. And then watching it back as well, I should have sold D-Shield for D-Ring. Because I am having a pretty significant mana issue, because Presence of Mind works on attacking enemy champions. But because this character is so strong at disengaging against us, we aren't consistently hitting him. Gragas is going to try and do escape here. I'm going to commit my ghost because I just want this guy off my screen. There I feel like it was a small emotional play because, you know, I played top so well, and guess whose tower fell first? Mine. So we're just standing here waiting for the wave to show up. And then once this tier 1 tower falls, I can start looking for enemy camps consistently. I can go in for the Krugs, the Raptors, pretty safe. Yeah, here plus 300 gold, and then I look where the next wave is. So I tell myself, let's clear the wave and then go check Krugs. I see Graves is on the dragon, so he shouldn't be by the Krugs, but there is also a chance that Krugs have fallen, which they have. Then I see a fight happening. I check Raptors. Thankfully, they're up, so I'm not wasting my time here by taking them. I'm just denying resources. Alright, and we are going to reset. And here we are going to get Riftmaker and sell our D-Shield for a D-Ring. And then here I'm trying to figure out what do I want third item. And more often than not, I default to Crypt Bloom. This is just one of my favorite items in the game now. It's so efficient. It's everything Gwen wants in an item. And it is a team-wide AoE heal. Like, you cannot get better than Crypt Bloom on a third item slot. It's so fun, and it's so good. I see a fight happening mid. I see a lot of spells being thrown, so I TP. Use my W to make sure I don't get slowed by Lux, so I can stick onto the Silas and find the kill on him. Once Gragas shows up and Graves slashes away, I change targets to the Gragas, get the double. And then at this point, I can't really hunt them down. I don't have any resources left, but I can't leave just yet either because look at my team's HP bar. I know Zeri wants to push that wave, so I'm going to stay there a little bit longer to help her out. And then my jungler finds a engage on the Graves with Ghost. And then I was going to do QE there, but, you know, my clown, even though he's, you know, a little angy to the point where we preemptively muted him, he's performing pretty well. My Nami, unfortunately, has to make the sacrifice. I overstayed, so she has to get punished for that. Alright, and then here we're just going to steal enemy camps, put the Graves further behind. I believe at this point he is 1 in 5. And then I don't know where Gragas is right now. If I saw him mid, I would take this wave, but I don't want to risk him coming up to the top lane. Alright, and we're going to get a Fiendish Codex and an Amp Tome. 162 CS to 137. We have a 30-ish CS lead on top of 3 extra solo kills and even towers. And then they started Desperation Baron. Luckily, I picked it up. Karma and Nami had no idea what was going on. So we're just going to push the enemy team off of this Baron. And look at that disengage from Gragas. He goes down, but the Graves survives when I put all my resources into the Graves. Sylas is going to TP to try to save the play, but we are just too far ahead. Alright, and then Graves is going to reset here. I tried delaying this kill for a very smart reason, but it doesn't pan out. So I saw that the Rift Herald timer was running very, very low. It spawns right now, actually. I wanted to delay his recall to the point where it would spawn in front of me so I would get an extra 209 XP and 50 gold. But it was just barely off-timed, and I was a little nervous about missing it because I was a little tired when playing this game, so I did not want to just have my brain shut off and then just let him recall for free. Once Gragas shows up, the tower's half HP already, so I'm just willing to press W and face tank whatever combo Gragas has in store for me. And Sylas is going to run the Rift Herald down mid. I end up buying a Oblivion Orb here because I realized that it could have a lot of value into the Gragas and Sylas. But in hindsight, this Oblivion Orb does next to nothing this game. If you guys are in a similar situation and the Sylas or Gragas aren't massively ahead, I advise just going straight into the Crypt Bloom, because this just doesn't do as much as I thought it would. Alright, the fight's going to break out, and I trust that my team is far enough ahead to win that, so I'm just going to take the wave. Because I can't really get much off of that fight because of where it is and where I was when it started. So I'm just going to take resources from my team, and I saw the Raptors. I'm just trying to see if something might start mid. Unfortunately, nothing does because I'm very strong at this point. I walked up because I was confident that I could 1v3 here. And at this point, my team's going to take the dragon. There's no point to take any risks. We're just going to grab that wave and run towards the top side of the map. I wanted this red buff here, but when it's past 20 minutes, I believe red buff and blue buff get a 20% max HP bonus because of the buff sharing mechanic. So I just didn't want to spend all the time to clear that. So we settle on Krugs. Graves comes up to try to take them, and we just snag them from him. Right, and then at this point I'm holding tab and I'm just looking. It's like there's no way that I really die to the AD damage dealers. So instead of Jack Shows, which is my go-to on 3rd and 4th item, I opt for a Spirit Visage. It just has a lot of healing, and if you look at the enemy team, they have no grievous wounds right now, so it's getting a massive amount of value. Alright, we saw the Jinx and Lux near the mid lane, so I'm trying to see if I can get a flank here and use my Ghost and ult to just run them down. We end up seeing Graves randomly here in the bush. Had no idea he was here. We're going to use our W to make sure we can run over the Jinx traps without actually being stuck. And then this is what I was talking about, the mechanically played thing. Watch this Gragas ult. Barely sidestepped it. Watching back, I still feel so good about sidestepping it. But look at Gragas run. He gets out. Because he's funny Batman. Yeah, even watching that back, I'm very proud of that little sidestep there. It's not much. It didn't change the outcome. We didn't get extra gold or anything. Just looking at that puts a smile on my face. Alright, and then here, I'm just trying to see if they might try to run down my jungler. They use a blue trinket, so we just get 15 gold, and I go and push the waves. When waves are in a neutral position, always push the waves before a play. Whether it be a dragon or an invade, something like that. At any stage in the game, by the way. That is a good rule of thumb for every elo. Because so many people, myself included, do not push their neutral waves, and they end up losing hundreds of gold a game. Hundreds of gold a game is multiple kills a game, so... Again, we're going to use the trick to walk over the Jinx traps, but unfortunately we move our W on top of the Jinx, so we get snared, and then that just gives Lux a free opportunity to full combo us, and Sylas chains that into our first death after laning phase. Also, this, what is this called? Spectral's Cowl. This item feels awful, by the way. For 1250 gold, you get the same MR as a Null Magic Mantle, and I believe a little bit of ability haste and 200 HP. Looking at it, it makes sense that it's 1250, but it does not feel good to buy it for 1250, if you guys know what I mean. Alright, and then at this point, my Zeri Karma are pressuring mid. I see my jungler down here. This gives me the idea to have them push mid. I ping that for them, and then I'm going to TP on this. Why? Because they do not have the damage to deal with me right now. Sylas is gone off the map, so there's no one that can contest me for that tower. And as you guys see, I just kind of ignore the Gragas there while my jungler and I take the tower. We're going to take this inhib. Zeri and Karma are going to take the mid inhib while we distract the people from mid to bot. And then at this point, I break vision because they currently can't see me because the base is breaking everywhere. And we're going to get the third inhib of the game, and this just closes out any League of Legends game. It's very, very hard to come back from 3 inhibs down. Alright, and here I'm just going to start taking the Krugs. I'm eyeing the fight here, and I see Graves walking up for the waves, so that just gives me the idea to QE from Fog of War, and we find a Graves kill. Lux and Jinx end up being here. Lux tries to flash out, but it is just not enough. Here's another nice movement from me. No matter what, I'm always getting hit by that Gragas ult, so I walk down to make sure I don't get knocked into Gragas and full comboed, while Jinx just perma-autos me and gets the kill. Alright, here Sylas is going to take Karma R. We're just closing out the game as nice as we can. Big look for an engage on us. We end up trading 1 for 1. Look for the Sylas. Nami finishes off with her W, I believe. And that is GG. And I want you guys to notice in the bottom left what Gragas types. He's saying that it's Graves' fault that I'm fed. But do you guys remember who died first in this League of Legends game? Ignorance is bliss. Hope you guys all enjoyed this game. This was a very fun one. So glad my team didn't FF. And I'll let you guys look at the endgame stats and have a good day.
Just like the good old times. Sweet, simple, and out of control.